All right, guys, fire away. How's it going?
So how does this differ than when you have two exhibitions today this season?
It really doesn't differ. You know, you've been we're kind of coming towards the end of our third week, kind of I guess our fall camp, and you're ready to compete against somebody else. So it really doesn't differ. I mean, we get to play another opponent tomorrow. You think you have an idea what they do, but you're not sure. So really, you got to focus on yourself and come out, and you're just trying to. That's building blocks. We're just trying to go step by step with these guys, and I think tomorrow provides some opportunity to take the next step.
You talked about.
Is there any background about tomorrow's game about coaching relationships?
I mean, I've known Coach Johnson for a lot of years. He's a Northwest guy, and obviously I have a good relationship with the Stockton family, and Sammy Stockton's a close family friend, and him and Liam, my son, played high school together in AAU, and so I think it just kind of came about naturally. Nothing crazy with that.
You talked about increasing the margin of error. How have you seen your team grow in that department?
I mean, I hope so. I think one of the areas is we're a little banged up right now. Nothing serious. It's just kind of that time of year, and we went pretty hard the last week and a half, and we've got a few bumps and bruises. So we're holding some guys out, that probably won't play tomorrow. But the practices have still been good, and and that's encouraging for me. Sometimes if you're missing a starter or two, you're a little bit worried, but I'm not. I feel good how the progress we're making in practice. I think we're getting the quality reps we need, and some of the younger guys are getting more reps, which has been great.
All three of them out tomorrow?
I don't know. We're going to find out. A couple of them. Pella's probably out. He has a pretty good sprained ankle. Nothing we don't think is long term or serious. Just he won't be available tomorrow, and Umar and Krivas, we can see they're just a little bit banged up and sore. So, those big bodies, we asked them to do a lot, so it's not bad for them to mix in a day off. And not that it was the plan for them to miss this game, but it's just kind of how it happened. So we'll see tomorrow how they feel.
Anything specific you say banged up those guys?
Yep. They're fine. They'll be fine.
How do you see the minutes
Like the what?
behind Keyshawn?
Yeah, we'll see. I think I think balance and depth is going to be a strength of this team, and I really haven't, to be honest with you, played the minute game yet because I'm going to let it play out in front of me. At the end of the day, I'm going to judge it by how hard we play, and if guys can play with incredible effort for an extended period of time, they'll get more minutes. If I feel like they're better in 18 or 22 minutes, then we'll keep them in that range and have to find somebody else to fix that in. So I'm going to kind of let it play out a little bit, but I like the options we have, and I feel like everybody's put themselves in position to contribute to winning, which is positive.
How Caleb and Keyshawn were two seniors who were transferred in. How did they mesh with everybody so far?
They've been great. They're great players. I think they both are very comfortable here, and have kind of settled into the leadership type roles, and I feel comfortable. They know what we're looking for, and have practiced with me enough and played with us enough this summer. I think we got a good rapport. So to be honest with you, it's been pretty seamless, and I think the games will help us to start taking the next step. In that evolution of how they're going to play at Arizona.
What do you see from this process?
Good players, good players. They have a lot of experience. Krivas is, he's a unique big. He's big, and he's even big to big guys. So he's got an ability to dominate the game with his size. He's got a great IQ, good hands, good physicality. So I'm excited by him. And Morauskas is a big wing. He's kind of transitioning here. I think he's played a lot of four. Kind of maybe in his background, and we're maybe kind of sliding a little bit more to the three, which really doesn't mean anything too much. Just a little bit of an adjustment for him, but he's been good. He missed a little bit of practice a week or so back with a sprained ankle, and is kind of coming back the last day and a half or so. So he's still trying to get back in rhythm, but I think he's got a little bit of gamer in him. I think he scores the ball pretty easy. And I'm excited to see how he is in the lights on.
How are they handling that transition from Europe to
they've been good. To me, it's so natural that I guess I've done it so long and had so many players go through it that I really don't think of it as anything other than normal. So to me, they've been transitioning normal, and like you said, getting in playing against different teams will kind of be a good indicator of where they're at and what direction you need to take it.
Tell us about your good indication of the competitiveness of your guys? Because you see it in practice, but you take on a different dimension when you face somebody.
Well, it's I always tell our guys, we're not competing against each other. We have to compete with each other because ultimately in a game, you know, we're gonna, we're competing with each other to beat another team. So that's always the mantra from me. I don't want it to end up being like a man versus man deal in practice, and we got to push each other. But one thing we always talk about in our program is the level at which we push each other is the same level at which we support each other. So I think that's the camaraderie you want to build because ultimately, you're going to have to lean into that in tough times in games. And so, those are the things I'm looking for. But these guys have, they've shown a good competitiveness in practice, and we've scrimmaged a bunch. Just because I want them to go against Division I bodies, kind of getting us ready for what's coming down the pipe here in the next few weeks.
If everyone's healthy, as much as you've seen these guys now, how long do you envision going?
We're still in the fall camp. I'm letting it play out, and like I said, I'm going to let it play out, and I'm not even going to set that on the first game. I'm going to let it play out over time because, from my experience, every time I set it, it changes. So I'm going to kind of let it play out in front of me and give different guys different opportunities because I think they deserve that. Right?
Well, I assume you want to go more than 7, obviously 8, 9.
I personally haven't set a number. I have not sat down. I promise you, you spend more time worried about the minute distribution than I have.
And you were just in Israel. I'm not going to do additional comments on the unfortunate war, but did it make it hit home at all? A little bit more when you found out?
I think it's hit home with all of us. I mean, we had an incredible experience over there, and listen, I'm not probably educated enough on the history over there to say this or that, but I know Israel's a good place, and there are a lot of great people over there, and it's sad that whatever's happened in the past with cultures, we all get to take a step forward and wish for peace for everybody. And I don't really understand it. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around it, but I know there's a lot of great people over there, and a lot of people that we had made a special connection with, and so it's really hard for us to kind of see happening, and hopefully good things come in the near future.
Has Krivas or Morauskas speaking to Zoo at all? All coming from Lithuania.
Have they what?
Have they spoken to Zoo at all? Just coming from
Yeah,
Lithuania?
I mean, I think they're all in contact. Those guys are all friends. I mean, Lithuania is not a real big country, and when you play basketball, high-level basketball over there, I think all those guys paths cross quite a bit. And they still got Tote here. Tote's still around the program, and so yeah, I mean, I think they're all in communication for sure.
When you have recruited players from all over the world, how unusual is it to have someone of Polynesian descent like Kylan Boswell?
Yeah, I mean, there's some good players from that part of the world. If you get down into some of those countries, basketball is underdeveloped in a lot of those countries a little bit, but they're great athletes. You're seeing some good players starting to come out of Hawaii, and obviously there's a heavy Polynesian influence in that culture. Kylan's Polynesian descent, but he's an American kid, and so I mean, I think the more kids from that culture get exposed to basketball, I think the more good players you're going to find. And then Kylan's doing a great job. I mean, I think he's right on pace. I think, me and as well as others often forget he's still 18 years old. He's still the youngest guy on our team.
What are some of the more specific expectations for Caleb Love heading into this season?
I don't got any crazy expectations other than for him to play the right way. And that's all our conversations center around. And he's shown me really no indication that he isn't about playing the right way. So I think he's practiced the right way, he's prepared the right way. We've had great conversations, and now getting under the lights challenges it a little bit, and everything I've seen and know about him shows me that that's going to continue on the same path we've been on.
He took a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about how many he took last year.
I want him to take great shots within our offense, and whatever that distribution ends up being. When he has the ball in his hands, I want him to make great decisions for our offense. Whether that's him scoring, driving, or passing. I mean, that's my only expectation. I don't have anything crazier than that.
Well, if it was a different role, you anticipate a little bit different than maybe North Carolina leaning on him maybe more. And now you've got a lot more guards here, a lot more scoring potential, that backcourt.
I mean, at Arizona, we play team basketball, and know what? We've had great individual players here that have played team basketball, and so I mean, I think that's how we're built. I think that's how he's been playing. I mean, that's how he's prepared to play. So, I expect to see that continued evolution in that direction.
We saw Conrad at the Hispanic outreach night. How's his English and how's he fit in with everything?
Conrad's great. I mean, I think I've said all along, Tucson's going to love this kid. He's a spark plug, and he's done a tremendous job helping us with our practices, with his competitiveness, his savvy, his speed and quickness, and yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not setting any limitations on that kid. He's a special player, and he belongs in Arizona, and I think over the course of this season and these next couple of games, I think people are going to see what I'm talking about.
Who's starting? Or how do you
We'll
decide
meet
that?
as a staff. I mean, like a little bit's gonna be based on injury. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I'll check in with J Rock tomorrow morning and throughout the day. And but again, who starts tomorrow is probably not a strong indication of who will be starting for us come March. That's just how these
Just
seasons
wondering, yeah, with 2 exhibitions, I was wondering, are you using this to reward them for certain things, or or is it the 5 best guys that are healthy?
I mean, yeah. I to be honest with you, I haven't thought about it. I'm never one that's been caught up in the starting five. I know this. To be a great team takes more than 5 players. So why should I only be worried about those starting 5? Why should that be such a big thing? I think there's a strength in numbers, and we have numbers. So I'm doubling down on that strength. I'm not doubling down on 5.
Thanks, Coach.